I'm gonna let it shine. Happy Sunday and welcome to Unity of Sacramento. I'm your host, Reverend Kevin Ross. My friends call me Rev Kev, and so can you. No matter who you are or where you're from, no matter who you love or how you vote, when you are here, you're in the right place at the right time with the right people to receive your good. You're in the home that love is building right here on Folsom Boulevard, and we're so happy to have you with us. You know, right now in our nation, we march and we mourn as we remember our fallen heroes. And we recognize that something is missing from our world right now. Some call it the Sacred Mother, some call it the Divine Feminine, something that we all can use. And so today, here at Unity of Sacramento, we're calling you home to Mama. Let's celebrate the Divine Feminine today. Come on in.
To sing of the glory of God. To sing of the glory of God. I am to sing of the glory of God. I am to sing of the glory of God. Oh, the glory unfolding, the glory expressing, the glory creating, the glory, the glory, the glory around me, the glory within me.
I am a woman, hear me roar. Put me in a box, watch me walk out the door. Spread my wings, learn to soar, constantly in an invisible war. Replace her seat, no time to mourn, reinforces in society that we aren't worth more. Woman as God has become folklore. But I know. I am Alpha and Omega, beginning and end, mother and daughter, lover and friend. I am woman, perfect, whole, and complete. It is woman, you and I, that embody liberty. Thanks to Ruth, we get to choose with our bodies and our life. It was Ruth's fight that allowed one miss to take another as a wife. And you know about those choices? For those, we need nurses. Brianna was reversing our community curses. And as she laid down to sleep, the cops came through without a peep. She didn't get a chance to wake. She was a light that Brett did take. No justice had, no justice served. We lost the justice we deserved. So we pick up the fight this gloomy night, knowing and affirming all in this world that is right. I am a woman, I do matter. Meditate to clear the chatter. I am big and I am badder. Hold on, sis, I got your ladder. I am a woman and I am power. This is our time, the power hour. I'm delicate, just like a flower, but just like Ruth, I will not cower. We can fight with our allies, but not before some proper goodbyes. Take a moment, respect our lives, because just like Maya, still we rise.
As we gather in now for a time of prayer, a time of togetherness, I want you to just draw in near. I want you to bring to mind the heart of the beloved, the sacred mother, the mother presence in your life, the goddess energy in your experience. I want you to presence what I often relate to God as. I call God loving presence. And I came to this realization over time. There are many ways that we relate to God. Father, mother, divine mind, source. But my relationship with God has always tapped into the feminine vibration of God, which is the mother presence. And so I call God loving presence. However you name that presence, that source, that force, I want you to presence that energy specifically today as we come into contact with one another as a beloved community, as though we were gathered in grandma's backyard. We're safe. We're free. We're at peace right here, right now. In fact, point to yourself and say, I'm safe. I'm free. I'm at peace right here and right now. Because this is what the true spirit of the mother provides. I love the reference, children of God. There's something beautiful about being a child of God. I'm safe. I'm free. I'm at peace. I belong. And so in the spiritual community, our intention is to replicate that experience of belonging, that experience of safety, that experience of you being you exactly as you are. Have you met a mother who looked at her child in any way possible could find any real reason to frown. The fact is, when I've seen mothers speak of their little ones, they are the most braggadocious and fiercest protectors of their little ones. And I want you to feel that way as you relate to the presence of God today. And so may we turn within for a moment. Loving presence, here and now, we relate to you as do we relate to father and son, mother and daughter. We relate to you as children. We come humbly, recognizing that connection of safety, recognizing that connection of peace, recognizing our uniqueness, recognizing that you love us just as we are. And so we call forth your gentleness with us today. Allow us to be gentle with ourselves. Allow us to absolve the need to criticize ourselves. Allow us to let go of feelings of guilt today. Allow us to turn that over to you and be gentle with ourselves. Allow us today to be tender with ourselves. Allow us to pamper ourselves and take care of ourselves and embrace ourselves. Express that in and through us. And then allow us to bring that out into our neighborhood of concern. Show us the way to be compassionate, the way to be forgiving, the way to be tender, the way to nurture and cultivate the best in our relationships. And show us how to do this with the planet and the earth that we call our home. We know that you lead us, you guide us, you protect us, you direct us, always and in all ways. And so we end this prayer by bringing the energy of the mother all around us. Just wrap your arms around yourself. And just make it personal right now. Just affirm with me, right here and right now, I am lovable, loving, and totally deserving to be loved. Right here and right now, I am lovable, loving, and totally deserving to be loved. I am God's favorite. I am God's favorite. Now, on the third time, just relish in it as you hold your temple. I am God's favorite. Feel deeply into what that means for you. Feel deeply into the experience of shame melting away. The inner critic being silenced. Feel the anxiety dissolving. And feel the joy rising. See, sense, and feel in the eyes of Spirit and the eyes of God looking at you with the eyes of 1,000 mothers, affirming that you are my beloved, with whom I am well pleased. Thank you, Mother God. Thank you, loving presence. And so it is. Amen. Amin. Ashe. Aho. Hotep. Om Shanti. A woman And welcome to this special edition of Unity of Sacramento News Live. I'm your host, Rev Kev, here with my main man, 100 grand. Rev E's in the house.
Hey, Brother Rev.
How you doing, Brother Rev?
I'm well.
We're excited about September birthdays. We're still keeping the September birthday celebrations going, and we have a special birthday shout out for a special young man. Let's hear from Kayvon.
I heard we have a special birthday for a special birthday boy today. It's Isaiah's birthday. Happy birthday, Isaiah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Isaiah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
And we're also celebrating right now other special birthdays. Tell us about some of our friends who are celebrating birthdays right now,
Yes, and
Revy.
you know them. They're some of our minister friends from the East Coast. Happy birthday to Lemetria Hall,
Reverend Lemetria,
Reverend Burnett Lee Jones,
Reverend Jones, Reverend Burnett,
and Reverend Evelyn Hill.
Reverend Evelyn Hill. These are our friends from the One God, One Thought Center for Better Living in Baltimore, Maryland, sending you lots of love. And all of our September birthdays, know that we love you, we bless you, and we see you booming and blooming this fall. Peace and blessings, everybody.
Yes,
It's good to boom and bloom, even in the fall time.
even in the fall.
Even in the fall. Happy birthday, September. We're also wanting to let you know that we're having a Courageous Conversations bonus session on 10/19/20. That is October 19th, 2020. If you took the Courageous Money Conversations journal course with me, you are invited to jump in for a special bonus session with me, because by this time you've completed your journey and I bet you need some additional support. Look here for the details on how to register for that course. It's available on a love offering basis. Bring your journals, bring yourself. Let's do a check-in. October 19th, 2020, Courageous Money Conversations Journal check-in. Looking forward to having you there. And then we are about to press into the fall and then get ready for the holidays. And so it's time for our Big Give remix. That's right. We are having another Big Give virtual training. The Big Give is our commitment of service to Unity of Sacramento. And we're not letting COVID-19 take our commitment away to be of service. We're going to show you how you can be a virtual force for good during this COVID period as we ramp up for a December to remember and all of our holidays and activities in between. Please get the details right here to register for the Big Give Remix. It's our virtual volunteer training taking place October 3rd, 2020. Looking forward to having you there. Wasn't the Big Give very exciting when we launched that program?
It was amazing. It was something that we've never done before, quite in this way, and it really did energize our congregation.
And we collected over 10,000 hours of service commitments from you, and we want to finish strong this year, so make sure that you honor those commitments. Be at the training. If you were there the first time, want to come back, come on back. Be a part of it. You can take it from the comfort of your own home. It's going to be a great opportunity for us to have some camaraderie, but also reconnect to our big service commitment. COVID-19 can't stop the force, huh?
That's right.
Join the force. We look forward to you being there for our Big Give virtual volunteer training. That's happening again October 3rd. And then we have something coming up. I want you to talk about this a little bit. We have our Trick or Treat Drive-By event October 31st here on campus. Tell us a little bit about the Trick or Treat Drive-By event.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to this. It's a celebration of the fall, of the harvest, and it's a way that our children can still get out and socialize and have fun. This drive-by trick-or-treat is a way that we can safely celebrate the fall and the autumn and be in the space of of this wonderful season. And so that's going to take place on October 31st, Saturday, October 31st, from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m.
So bring the kids out. Bring the kids out. They'll get to stay in the car. Our youth volunteers, our youth big givers, and some of you might want to be a part of disseminating sealed packages of goodies for them. We'll take pictures at a safe distance of their Halloween costumes and their fall costumes. So make sure to bring them by 4 to 6. It's going to be safe. It's going to be fun. It's going to happen in your cars, but we have treats for all, 4 to 6. If you want to be a part and commit your big gift contribution to this, here's the contact information for our point person, Lydia, on our youth team. She'd love to have you join the team and be of service to that. Thanks so much. Looking forward to that. That's going to be fun.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I always love the costumes.
And while we're at it, we've got another celebration coming up. You've been telling me you guys are sneaking around, cooking up our 10th anniversary celebration.
Oh, we really are.
What do you need for that?
Well, what we need is your help. We're looking for people who want to share their memories of the last 10 years since you've arrived here at Unity of Sacramento. It's a celebration of the building of our beloved community. And so that's going to take place the entire month of October. So when you tune in for Unity of Sacramento Live, we will be celebrating you, and we will be also celebrating our own Rev Kev.
I'm so glad about that. So those of you who want to look back over the memories, the music, the meditations, the miracles that have taken place over the last 10 years that we've all shared here together, please send an email right here to the contact information, or check out our brother Rev. He's going to take the lead in making sure we have a wonderful 10th anniversary celebration together. Also, if you're looking to be a committee member and want to be a part of that, it's going to be a great time. And I hear we've got some fun surprises. I'm looking forward to that.
We indeed do.
Be a part of our 10th anniversary celebration, building and belonging to the beloved community. It's going to be great. You had a reminder about Unity 101 coming up here. So tell us about when part 2 of Unity 101 is coming up.
Happy to, Rev. Part 2 of Unity 101 happens this coming Monday, September the 28th at 7 p.m. If you participated in Unity 101 Part 1, you want to come back this coming Monday so that you can learn more about Unity of Sacramento and how we're going to do this special spiritual baptism in this particular COVID times.
Looking forward to your presence there. It's always important to learn what we believe, why we believe it, our core values, and how you can be a force for good in the world. That's our membership class, and it's a special place for you to connect with other like-minded individuals. Thanks for teaching that class and giving people what they need in order to take their steps forward into their spiritual initiation. Looking forward to all of our new friends coming on board. Yes. There's room for you here at Unity of Sacramento. Well, we want to take a moment to have you look at something very special that I've been up to. I've been trying to find a way to connect with our little ones. I created a book called The Optimistic Seed. Watch this. In this topsy-turvy time that we're living in, we can't forget our little ones. And one of the things that's been pulling at my heartstrings a great deal is how my children and how your children, how are our children responding to the impact of these very challenging times that we're living in. It's a lot of instability. Things are uncertain. And what helped me was to remember what my mom used to do to help me feel safe, especially when you're sheltering in place. My mom used to tuck me in at bedtime and read me bedtime stories. She used to read out loud to me, and I can remember the feeling of the snapping of the sheets and the comforter and the smell of fabric softener because they were all fresh and the comfy pillow, and Mom bringing me close and reading me the most amazing bedtime tales. And I felt safe, I felt comforted, and I felt connected. And I want to bring that back. I want us to read out loud to our little ones as we shelter in place. And so I've taken the time to share a very special story with you in a new book that I've written called The Optimistic Seed, A Story of Resilience. It's a little story about how a little acorn becomes a mighty oak. It's 33 beautifully illustrated pages that the young and the young at heart will find touching and inspiring and a lot of fun. I want to invite you to make sure that you get a copy and find someone in your life to read out loud to and let them know during that time that because they're with you, they're safe. Let's shelter in place and read out loud and make a big difference in the hearts of our little ones. Thanks. Well, I really am so grateful that so many have responded. We broke Amazon thus far, so continue to support the work of Optimistic Seed. Let's get it to as many young people as we possibly can. It's an important story. And you can also get it at booksamillion.com. It's available there. And Amazon is replenishing, and I pray that it's all back up and running for those of you who came in after we had that big rush.
You know, I think it's worth a #1 seller on someone's list. It's going to happen.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. All right, it's time for our mail call. What do we have in the mail, Rev E?
Oh, we have some wonderful, wonderful letters and offerings to share. The Dennisons are back.
Thank you so much, Dennison family, for your love and support. Always right on time. God bless you.
And Mona also sends her love and appreciation.
Thank you, Mona, for your gift and support of our ministry. We love and appreciate you and your generosity.
Our beloved Donnie sends cards with regularity.
Thank you, Donnie. We're sending you our love. She's one of the great mothers of our ministry, and we couldn't do it without you, Donnie. Keep on keeping on, beloved, and thank you so much. What is she saying this time?
Yes, I read mine's last time. This time I'm going to read yours. It says, Dearest Rev Kev. Yes, dearest. Thank you for all that you do for us and the community. Love, Donnie.
Thank you, Donnie. We love you right back, and you are our dearest Donnie as well. Thank you. Hold these special place.
I can't wait to share this letter with you. It's from someone that hopefully you know. You won't forget her if you ever had a chance to meet her. Her name is Juanita Tayeski.
Mother Juanita Tayeski, we love you.
Yes.
Thank you for writing. What is she saying?
She says, Dear Eric, Mother Tayeski here, wanting everyone to know how much you SAC Unity folks are missed. It has taken a while to adjust, but San Francisco Unity Spiritual Center is an ocean of love, and its spirit of creativity and faith cannot be denied with their leader, Rev Margie Shannon.
Hey, Reverend Margie.
She says, love to you and Rev Kev. All is here in San Francisco at Unity, an ocean of love. Blessings to all.
Sending you much love, Mother Tayeski, and thank you so much for that letter. And we send love to our sister community out in San Francisco. Keep on doing the great work there.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, we have this wonderful letter from Roy. And he writes,
Hey,
Hi,
Roy.
Rev Kev.
Hey, Roy.
Don't know why it took me so long, but I tuned in this morning to your live stream service and greatly enjoyed it. Terrific message from you as usual, and really good production with the tithing message and explanation of the other ways to support your work. Enclosed is a little something to help with that. Hope all is well with you and the family. We're all good here. looking forward to the resumption of in-person services.
Oh, and we are too, Roy, sending you love and your family love. They have been longtime supporters and friends of Unity of Sacramento. So glad to be getting your letter. I love the beauty of our letter writing. Before we go, we just want to take a moment to lift a few individuals in prayer who have written in for our prayer support. We want to hold the high watch for our beloved Noah Hayes and his family and individuals in his family who have been impacted by COVID-19. We want to also lift up our beloved Marche. Some of you know Marche. She's been an angel with us and served our ministry in so many different ways. Marche Knockham serves with our AV ministry and hospitality ministry. You've seen her over the years. She's moving through a health challenge and gave me permission to let you know to lift her up in prayer this week. We also want to hold our beloved Ray Charles, Sacramento's first and finest Black Fire Chief. We hold him in prayer as he moves through his own healing challenge. And all of our beloveds, we just take a moment to just see each and every soul. And if there are individuals that you want to hold the high watch for, just place their names in the chat room as we speak the word for our beloveds. Loving presence, we know here and now that you are instant, constant, and ever present to each of us. And instant is no different, that you are as instant as we are. And so since you are as instant as we are, we instantaneously say yes to the acceptance of our healing, our wholeness, our vitality. Our souls are risen up to the high vibration of the upper room. And we meet you in that upper room for healing, restoration, for renewal, to be reminded who we were before we entered the physical body. And as on assignment, our cells are now reminded of that assignment, and they are recharged, revitalized, re-energized, restored, reactivated to perfect order. We let it be. We call it good, and so it is. It cannot be otherwise, and we rejoice because of it. Amen.
Amen.
And amen.
Amen.
Thanks for that opportunity. Thank you, beloveds, for always keeping us informed about those requiring prayer. We're here for that all day long. As we leave and close this Unity of Sacramento episode, we want you to take a look at this very special announcement from our team leaders with USAC Votes, Unity of Sacramento's voter education initiative. Watch this, and we'll see you next week on Unity of Sacramento Live. Take care. So what will you be doing with the Unity of Sacramento Votes initiative? Exactly what are you guys going to do?
Well, one of the things we are going to do is participate with our angel response team in calling our parishioners, giving them information, encouraging them to register for one thing. If they're not, we can tell them how to find out if they're registered. And just making sure that they're registered in time so that they do get their ballots and they can get their votes counted. So that's one of the things we're going to be doing. That's one of the biggest things we'll be doing.
We're also going to be having a ballot group Zoom in October where we want to meet with people and discuss what the propositions are. There's 10 this year. And sometimes, you don't get around to really understanding that until almost the night before, and then you pull out that pamphlet and you go, what the heck? I don't even know.
I think it's a responsibility for one thing. You want to vote smart. And now, while the smart part might look different from one person to the next, but when I say vote smart, I mean know what you're voting for.
Right. Any last comments before we wrap up?
Well, expect a call from us.
Yes.
Don't hang up.
We're doing this.
We'll be calling from the church, so expect a call from us.
Let them know it's a call from the Lord. They're going to be calling you. Thanks for making the call, and thank you for answering the call. We have more coming up on Unity of Sacramento after this. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
You bet. When I was growing up as a little boy, I can remember clearly asking my mother one day a question. I said, "Ma, is it possible for men to be in ministry as well?" And my mother laughed at me because she did not realize that I did not ever see other examples of men in ministry. My mentors in ministry were women, starting with the late Reverend Dr. Johnny Coleman. I have always respected, celebrated, and appreciated the role that women play in ministry, and today is no different. We owe a debt of gratitude to the voices of the Fillmores of the world, the mother of our unity movement, the Dr. Johnny Colemans of the world, and then the voices you're going to hear throughout today's program. They're ministers and mothers and mentors and leaders, including your First Lady, Anita Ross, who will share their wisdom and perspectives about what we need in our world today, bringing us a woman's worth. Watch this.
Hello, Unity of Sacramento. It's Anita Ross here, and oh my goodness, do I miss each and every one of you. You each have a special place in my heart, and I'm holding on so tight until we can safely come together again. I know that when we do, it's going to be an absolute love fest for sure. These are just such unprecedented times, and a lot is being called of us. Whether it's COVID-19 and the uncertainty that comes with that, the loss, the pain, the sheltering in place and helping our babies through distance learning and still trying to manage to get our work done and take care of ourselves. Whether it's the wildfires and the smoke or the severe racial injustice that continues to rear its ugly head. It's a lot, and it can be a lot. And so it's so important for us to stay in tune with Spirit, to stay in tune with God, to stay in tune with our truth and with our mind, body, and souls. This past week has been tremendously hard for me. As a woman of color, I have shed so many tears this week. I have reached out to so many friends for support. To make it through, we lost a giant in Justice Ginsburg, RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who spent her life taking a stand for women. I shed tears for that, and I sobbed when I found out that there were no charges for Breonna Taylor's death. I read something that said a cop murdered a black woman and only got charged for the bullets that missed. And I sobbed some more. I thought, well, what do I do with that? What does the mother of two black daughters, black girls, who will be black women one day, what do I do with that? Where do I go from there? And I sobbed. And I reached out. And I did my work to get myself realigned, to recognize my role. That my role, along with their father's role and that of their village, is to continue to remind them of their worth, their innate worth. That even though this country, and sometimes the world, will seek to say something different, that they get to understand at their core of who they are, that they are worthy, and that they are powerful, and that they can change this world as we know it. And I got to that point of clarity because I understand my role and the power of it. You see, I truly believe this is why I do the work I do with women. You all know I've been spending my life doing this. I truly believe that when we hit critical mass of women who awaken to their worth, who understand their worth and choose to live by their innate worth, we will in fact rid the world of the ills that plague it. We are just that powerful. Ruth Bader Ginsburg said, "Women belong in all places where decisions are being made." It's the truth. And that's how we will change the world. But it's our time. It's our time to rise up. We're being called to action. And I want you to understand that that is relative. It looks so many different ways, because it can look like taking care of yourself, taking care of your emotional health, taking care of your physical health, taking care of your mental health. It can look like making the conscious choice to heal. It can look like playing a supportive role. In many ways, in all ways, but right now, especially for those who are experiencing trauma. It can look like voting, getting out and voting, helping people register to vote. It can help like changing legislation that's antiquated and out of date. It can look like running for a position because we need you. We get to infiltrate and hit critical mass of people that understand that we are love, that we are peace, and that we all, each and every one of us, deserve that. So find your lane. Wherever you are is perfect. Find your lane and go. And know that we can do this. We will do this. Thank you so much. I love you all. Take care.
Hello, beloved people. My name is Reggie Love Reichard, and I am the founder and spiritual influencer of Pause for Peace. Today, we get to celebrate the divine feminine power together. Not only do we get to celebrate it, but we get to embrace it as our very life. Yes, you are the place through which unconditional love is seeking to reveal itself. You are the place through which community is seeking to know itself. You are the place through which equality wants to know that life is through and as all of expression. And so in this knowingness, as we celebrate our honorable Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and as we embrace our beloved Breonna Taylor, let us hold each family in high consciousness, in love, that which the divine feminine does so well, and let us know that divine justice is being served through unconditional love. I appreciate you. Thank you, Reverend Kev, for giving me this opportunity to speak to your congregation. And First Lady Anita Ross, I love you. Thank you for all that you do. Peace.
I believe there is a severe imbalance of the masculine and the feminine happening in our world. And we're seeing it at every single level of our society, in the home, all the way up to government. What's happening is the feminine has been taken for granted, undervalued, and has been given the last priority. We've been going at everything with brute force, trying to force every single system, even nature, to our will. And there's a time for that. There's a time for that energy. But what we need right now is an energy of cultivation, an energy of love, that femininity, that feminine energy that allows love to thrive. And that's I'm just seeing in every single level, even little girls are being told, you know, they're being told, you need to, don't let people do this or that or da-da-da, or, you know, you need to do this and you need to do that and you need to get this and you need to get that. And I love that. But there's not enough of, hey, little girls, I'm gonna protect you. I'm gonna make sure you're safe. And I'm going to cultivate the power of children and youth and innocence. And that's what femininity and feminine energy allows to thrive, is innocence. You need feminine energy for innocence to exist.
It feels real good to be home. Real good. Is it okay if I take off my shoes? Because that's what I do when I get home. Everybody needs a breakthrough sometime. Raise your hand if you need one right now. I do. Maybe I dropped my dream when I was in flight doing my eagle thing, so I traced my tracks back to find there was no trace of me. See, the thing that happens when you let go of your dream looks like erasing your history. Oh, you did it all. For what? Only you show the scars of the strife. The hands bloodied, beating doors, the knees burned in prayer, third eyes blackened by the senseless blows of the short-sighted, the heart slow from being overworked and underappreciated. Yeah, I could heal myself if I could just get a breakthrough, but I'm trapped in some kind of metaphysical mathematics book that only lets you count your blessings backwards. It tells me on every other page that karma is calculated by the function as you approach infinity, multiplying your faith by your effort and dividing it by the love you've shown to the power of your humility. I've written it 1,000,000 times on my bedroom walls, and now it haunts me. See, I've fallen in love, but I can't get up and take care of business. So again, I am mistaken, but I suspect these are the turn of events proceeding. Something stirring deep inside my soul. I feel a breakthrough. Something's happening that I can't control. I feel a breakthrough. Something's telling me that the best is yet to come. I feel a breakthrough. Something's telling me that the battle is won. I feel a breakthrough. I've been waiting so patiently for my transformation. It's time to follow my destiny. No more hesitation. I'm breaking through the greatness, breaking through the excellence. I'm breaking through. I embrace the impossible. I behold the intangible. I'm breaking through. I'm breaking through. I believe it's possible. I'm unstoppable. I'm breaking through. Hey, I'm breaking through. Something deep inside of me is saying don't give in. I feel a breakthrough. Something deep inside of me is saying I feel a breakthrough. I got love to give, I got life to live, I feel a breakthrough. I'm a butterfly, ready to dance, ready to fly. I'm breaking through. I've been waiting so patiently for my transformation. It's time to follow my destiny. No more hesitation. I'm breaking through the greatness. Yeah, I'm breaking through. I embrace. Hey, I'm breaking through. Yeah, breaking through the greatness. Breaking through the excellence. I'm breaking through. I believe anything. I believe it's possible. I'm breaking through. I'm breaking through. Help me out, Ashley. I'm determined and unstoppable. I'm breaking through. I'm breaking
By this time, beloveds, your soul has been filled up by the wisdom of our sheroes, those that are the mouthpieces for the beloved community, those that represent the heartbeat of the very presence of God. And I am so grateful that all of them have gathered in with us today and continue throughout this service to be a blessing to us by helping us to really lift up and celebrate the divine feminine. I want to take us to a passage to just kind of touch and maybe tie together some of what we've already heard. It's been so complete. So this is literally a cherry on top. But I want to take us to a passage of scripture that we can reflect on as well. Genesis 1:28. And in Genesis, from the mouth of the God presence, it says, "Be fruitful, multiply, and fill the earth." Be fruitful, multiply, and fill the earth. Genesis 1:28. I want you to think with me just a little bit on the topic, birthing the beloved community, the messy business of co-creating a world that works for all. Birthing the beloved community, the messy business of co-creating a world that works for all. I remember growing up with my grandparents, south side of Chicago, and my grandparents had 10 children. Count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And at the center of our family, the most important thing was love. And the most important thing to love was family. And so this is the environment in which me and my cousins and my brothers were reared, in this environment of a huge family and an environment of love. And my grandmama was the central figure, the matriarch of the family. And I remember one day, I asked Grandmama, I said, why do we have such a big family? Why do we have 10? Why did you have 10 children? 10. And Grandmama, who talks kind of like this, she says, for the Bible says, be fruitful, multiply, and fill the earth. And my grandpapa walked by and said, fill it up, fill it up, fill it up. And I think they single-handedly tried to fill the earth all by themselves. But there was something very significant about the contribution that my grandmother made to our family, who anchored and embodied this love energy. Being fruitful. What does it mean? What does it mean to be fruitful? It means to be productive. And then what does the word multiply mean? It means to increase in number. And then what does the word replenish mean? It means to fill or to refill. And right now, more than ever before, what's missing, as you've heard from the voices that have spoken in one way or another, and I'm just adding my voice to it, what's missing from the earth plane in a great degree is this idea of replenishment, nourishment, multiplying and being productive, rather than this idea of dominating, controlling, subduing, and destroying. And so as we think together about the building of the beloved community, there's some ideas that I just want to drop in your consciousness to consider. What does it take to build the beloved community? We must have the mother presence. We must move through a spiritual gestation process. We must select right partnership. There has to be a coming together of right ideas. A coming together of right ideas for the purpose of being fruitful together. You know, if we're constantly at odds with each other, if we constantly cannot find common ground together, then we will not be conducive soil to hold a divine idea, a seed of a future. And this is why we stay stuck, because we are not choosing the right partners. Who do we need to come together with? Individuals and beloveds who are holding for the world a place of belonging for everyone. This is where we start. Let's stop trying to convert everybody. Let's come together in like-minded partnership and let's build from there. So the first part of the messy business of building the beloved community is to find like-minded partnership in order to conceive a divine idea of a future that works for all. Can we get to that place of agreement? Can't be productive if we're constantly at odds with one another. When the right partners come together and conceive, we become impregnated or pregnant, not with a vision of a world that works for some of us, but a vision that works for all of us. We become impregnated with this idea of possibility. Pregnant with possibility. You can see how you can succeed and others can succeed in this world. We're forming a new world. And so when we conceive, we become impregnated with possibility. And in such a world, our vision sees black, white, Asian, Native American, Latino, gay, and straight, and LGBTQ, and all in between, all persuasions of human life being incubated for their highest potential and expression. This is what it means to be pregnant with possibility, the possibility of the highest expression of all humanity. Can you get pregnant with this idea? Oh, somebody's getting pregnant right now. Somebody's getting pregnant right now. And it starts just with holding this vision. This is how we begin this process. As you move through the gestation process of holding this vision of a world, I want you to know that you're going to go through certain changes. And you might not always see, you might not always feel, you might not always have that vision before you. In fact, there are going to be some days when it seems like everything to the contrary is appearing, and everything that looks like what we're trying to call forth is disappearing. We call this morning sickness. That sometimes you're going to turn your television on and you're going to experience some morning sickness. You're going to get sick and tired of seeing everything that is oppositional to the vision that you have been impregnated with, that you came together with your beloveds to produce. You're going to have some morning sickness. But I'm telling you, if you can hold the vision, hold the baby. I used to tell Anita that. Sometimes Anita would get up in the middle of the night and she would have that morning sickness with some of our kids, you know, that experience of nausea and just upsetness in her being. I would tell her, hold on to the baby. Tell somebody, just type it in the chat room, hold on to the baby though. Just hold on to the baby. Do not be jaded by the appearance or the disappearance of those signs and symbols that signify, gives you the impression that the world not ever going to be what we have conceived it to be. I love what Napoleon Hill said, what the mind of man can conceive and his heart can believe, humanity can achieve. If the mind can conceive it, the heart can believe it, we can achieve it. And so I want you to hold on to the baby. Though you have morning sickness, type in the chat room, I'm holding on to the baby. I'm still pregnant with possibility. Come on, I'm still pregnant with possibility. Somebody's still pregnant. After a while, if you hold on to the baby, you will begin to be in tune with the signs that progress is being made. And just as it is with the mother, you will start to show. Growth will start to occur and you'll be showing. Now notice who's showing first. The mother is always showing first. I want you to stop looking outside of yourself for the growth. Ask yourself, am I showing? Am I showing forth the vision? Is it living inside of me, or am I expecting it to be all outside in the world happening? I must be showing. And how will you know that you're showing? Because somebody's going to come up to you and say, hey, did you know you're showing? I mean, you're talking differently. You actually believe the stuff that you're talking about. And you know what? People are starting to see that difference. You know when the mother is shining. You know that shine that mother brings when she's glowing. When the seed begins to be brightly nurtured with you, with your sacred practice, your prayer, your meditation, your silence, when all of this begins to occur for you and it becomes flesh of your flesh and bone of your bone, then you are not only showing, you're glowing with the presence. And your growth will be evident to all others, and it's in that place that others can start to see that they too can be pregnant with possibility. See it in yourself first. That's why we call it expecting. I'm expecting. Type that in the chat room. I'm expecting. I'm expecting myself to grow. I'm expecting myself to change. I'm expecting myself to transform. I'm expecting to be a new creature. As we move through this process, along the way, you're going to hear and feel the baby kicking. Oh, and that's an exciting time, isn't it? When the baby starts to kick. And as the baby begins to kick, we invite others to participate in the witness of that, because sometimes people can't see it until you make a believer of them. Look, there is something happening. We changed the law. We changed some policy in our corporation. We know we said it, but look, more and more people have stood up for this. The baby will start to kick and give us some signs of new life in the new world in which we're impregnated with. When the baby is kicking, this is your time to invite others to see for themselves what you knew before there was any signs of life. You got to be able to see the neighborhood thriving and growing. You have to be able to see the ills of our communities be dissolved. You got to be able to see peace breaking out in your household and your relationship. You got to be able to see that. And as you begin to see that, that's when you start showing. Because some have to see first in order to believe. But Jesus wanted us to believe first. Either way, bring them aboard to see when things start kicking off in your vision. Now, I want you to know that along the way, the baby is going to call for what it needs in order for it to thrive. As you have a high and sacred vision, you're going to have some cravings. You're going to have cravings for unusual things that the child itself needs, and sometimes it's necessary to do what's required in order to nurture that inner child. Your mother's plan may not be the plan for you. Your father's plan may not be the plan for you. Somebody else's religion and spirituality, it may not be the plan for you. I want you to nurture your inner craving. What does your soul have need of in order to thrive, in order to grow, in order to prosper? What does your community have need of in order to thrive, in order to grow, in order to prosper, in order to be rightly nourished? Go out and get it. Supply that. Do you need alone time? Do you need to connect with some like minds? Do you need a special reading of some kind? What does thy soul need? What does your soul need when you start having your cravings? Trust that and provide yourself with what you need. Every idea comes completely and fully clothed with what it needs to bring it in visible manifestation. Once the idea has been implanted in your soul, it automatically knows what it needs to build itself within you. Isn't that good news? So you don't have to force and manipulate and cajole and try to make anything happen. Just follow the promptings of the Spirit within you, and in due season, you will be right there delivering. Everybody take a breath right here. Take a breath. We're in labor now. We're moving forward. We've grown. Now we're going into labor. And this is the real thing. This is where the real work of the messy process happens. Because now our growth is evident, but now we've got some pains, because going into labor involves change. It involves change. And change is painful. Changing the self, changing the community around us, changing the world. It can be painful because people want change to be the people want change, but they want change just the way they have it right now. And so there's resistance, there's pain. Yet, despite the resistance that you see, you know it's coming. You know there's nothing you can do about it. I don't care how many people seem to be opposing the transformational process that's happening in our world right now. I invite you to breathe and push. Breathe and push. Breathe and push. P-U-S-H. Pray until something happens. Pray until something happens. Persist until something happens. Push. It's inevitable that the future is coming, an unprecedented future that works for all. It's a messy business, because once you have pushed and the birth of the world that you are calling forth begins to come forth, you start to see it, and it's not as organized, it's not as perfect. In fact, it comes out with a lot of messiness. Birth canal becomes full. The baby comes forth in crowns. You start to know more than ever before. You're closer than ever before to everything that you've prayed for, that you've marched for, that you fight for, that individuals have died for. You see it crowning. And this is the time, and I want you to remember this, this is the time when the greatest resistance shows up to. All throughout Scripture, we have evidence of the great powers trying to kill the newborn, the newly born. And so as the beloved community begins to crown, as we start to see the rising up of safe spaces and places around this country that are inclusive, it's at that time that we must provide a nursery, surrounding a field of prayer, so that the newborn has every opportunity to grow, to thrive, to become that which we had conceived and believed it could be. We don't just have the baby, we got to rear the baby. And that's where the work begins, and that's where the mother presence is so vitally important. She will nurse the baby. Nurse the vision. Give it the best of yourself. Give it the best of your time. Give it the best of your energy. Give it the best of your service. Give it the best of your commitment. Surrounded with a village of support. And see it until we stand with Jesus in knowing, thy kingdom come, thy will is done on earth as it is in heaven. Our vision made manifest. A world at peace with itself. Mother brings us heaven. And so we honor the sacred mother, the sacred birthing process, the sacred power that she holds to keep us all fruitful, multiplying, replenishing, and filling the earth. This is the messy business of building the beloved community. So help us, Mother God, Goddess. And so it is written. And so I've spoken, and so you've heard it, and so it is. Amen.
Hi, my name is Dr. Christy Hagans, and I am an African-centered psychologist, professor, one of the co-founders of Safe Black Space, and obviously a Black woman, a proud Black woman. And I am here to share with you that I see that it is critical that we reconnect with this divine feminine energy, which is so needed at these current times and in this current place and space in which we are living and moving through right here and right now. I know as I reflect on and think about and connect with losses of Justice Ginsburg more recently, and the murder of Breonna Taylor, and within the last few days, the understanding of the verdict and the lack of movement in indicting the officers responsible for her death. These two women in particular right now are at the forefront of my mind, and probably for many of us as we think about the current state of our world, of our global nation. And it's time for us to reconnect with that feminine energy of love and compassion and relationship that allows us to move past all this destruction and tension and conflict that we are currently in these current times and spaces. I believe, however, that it is through that feminine energy, which is, for me, very connected to being a mother, this warrior energy that is protective and yet loving, is so critical. So I relate especially to Sekhmet, to an ancient African goddess, the warrior goddess of healing, that had a head of a lion and the body of a woman, kind of fully integrating in some ways that the passion of what it means to love and to care and to heal, while also being passionate and making sure that what needs to happen happens for the greater good. And so I invite each one of us, from wherever we sit in the world, regardless of our gender expression, our racial ethnic identity, our sexual orientation, to connect with this higher power, with this balance. It's so needed right now. It's so needed right now. Ashe.
Good morning, my Sacramento family. It is so good to be with you this morning. I want to just reflect a little bit on the life of Ruth Bader Ginsburg and how I'm just so inspired by her tenacity and her grit and her willingness to be part of the change. She is a demonstration of power, of the feminine, the divine feminine showing up in a really powerful way against, amidst all adversity and challenge in the justice system. She represents dignity and poise and grace. And she had the confidence to move about that entire chamber in a way that deserved respect, and it asked for respect. And so I'm so grateful for her life, for the legacy that she left for so many of us women, for equality and equanimity to exist. And while I'm deeply inspired by the change agent that she was and is, I'm also deeply saddened by the disparity, the injustice that continues to happen in this country from a system of whiteness and supremacy that is just in the fabric of our culture. And so many still want to turn a blind eye. Specifically, this past few days with
the injustice surrounding Breonna Taylor. And may we bring her name into the room over and over again, as she unfortunately has been part of this narrative now in the fabric of this country, of the injustice that we continue to see. And while I can hold that anger and that pain, and I can hold that disparity, I also at the same time can hold hope and absolutely trust and know that the divine feminine is the thing and the essence that is going to move us forward as a world and as a country. It is tapping into that creative space, that thing that birthed all life, to birth a new idea, a new deed, a new action, a new thought. And that is what we are all about. And so that gives me hope to remember what my life is committed to and what your life is deeply committed to come back to having hope and trusting and knowing that there is a divine pattern and an order that is happening right now, and we don't get to see it all yet. And yet, we get to continue planting those seeds. We get to continue doing our consciousness work, knowing that all the work that we're doing absolutely matters in the grand scheme of this mystery that we call life. I love you.
There's a saying that goes, the world will be set free by women who are free. And when I first heard that saying, I wasn't sure what it meant, but I now know it to mean the rising of the divine feminine, because the divine feminine is really the embodiment and the knowing of the divinity that resides within each one of us. The divine feminine is the embracing of qualities that we need so desperately in the world right now. Qualities like nurturing and empathy and intuition, community and collaboration. I believe that our great nation has gotten a little bit off balance, and you can see that in the division and the polarization. You can see it in the competition and the systems and structures that cater to an unfair power dynamic instead of unity. And yet, we have these glimmers of hope and shining lights of what's possible. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was such a bright light. She provided so much hope and inspiration for so many human beings, so many women, including myself, who saw her walk with so much courage, so much integrity and intention, and the inner knowing that her actions, however small or large, could make a profound impact. And I believe Breonna Taylor was another beautiful light in our world, and she overcame so much adversity and was so resilient. And both of these women will leave a profound legacy, and they are so deeply missed. The pain is truly palpable, and yet with the pain comes the knowing that we are in need of healing as a country, as a culture, and we have the capacity to do that and to really come together during this time of need and to celebrate what is possible, to celebrate these ideals instead of being divided, to come together and recognize the love and the nurturing that is needed at such a time as this. And so I just want to thank both of these amazing women. And I know that they live on in my heart and so many of us around the world.
Hello, Unity of Sacramento. I'm Unity Minister Reverend Charlene Manuel, and I'm coming to you from my home in Orlando, Florida, but I am with you in spirit today. You know, the divine feminine within is that loving, nurturing aspect of who we are that has been stirred to great compassion, particularly in these challenging times. It is that compassion that has been stirred and amplified in such a way that so many of us are doing the work that is ours to do, to make a difference, to make a change in the world. You know, sometimes that divine feminine allows us to give all that we are, even unto our very lives, like Breonna Taylor. Now, it's true that her death has not been brought to, those have not been brought to justice who are responsible for her death yet. And yet you and I must not give up hope. We must not give up faith for the change that the world is begging for. We cannot give up. After all, it's Breonna whose soul gave the ultimate sacrifice, life. So we can't give up. We can't give in. It is that divine feminine that shows itself as the boldness to lead a life that is filled with stirring up good trouble, as the late John Lewis would say. The kind of good trouble that Ruth Bader Ginsburg just lived through her entire life. We see and remember that she stood for a life that fought for fairness, for decency, and for that which is good, and may that always be a beacon of light for us and an example. We can't give up. Sometimes the divine feminine actually shows up as a woman charged to stand up and do a new thing, like so many candidates running for public office. And yes, there is a work that is ours to do. They will make a difference, but you and I, we must also be a part of that difference. To stand up, pray them up, and vote them in. Our work is not yet done, friends, and we stay the course. Friends, let's keep our faith focused on the power found through courage and resilience and a refusal to give up even when things look tough. Surely there is a divine work yet for all of us to do, for all of us to be a part of and to engage in. And as we do so, many who have gone before us will be that shining and guiding light, even when we're not consciously aware of their light, their love, their presence. They are guiding us every step of the way. Dear friend, let that divine feminine in you be a loving, nurturing light and way shower for that which is about change and transformation. I want to say God bless to Rev Kev and Reverend Eric. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak to this wonderful congregation today. You, Unity of Sacramento, may God bless you, and God bless all of us in the work that is yet ours to do. Be well, be safe, be blessed.
This is what happens when you break through. Here we go, y'all. I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Got to let it show. Come on, y'all. Turn it out. I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Got to let it show. I'm coming out. Let's go. I'm coming out. Hey, I want the world to know. I've got to let it show. I'm coming out. I'm coming out. I want the world to show. Got to let it show.
That's new me coming out, and I just wanna live, and I just got to give. I'm completely positive. I think this time around I am gonna do it like you never knew it. Oh, I'm positive.
Come on, say.
It's time for me to break out of the shell. And I want to shout that I am coming out. I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Got to let it show. I'm coming out. I'm coming. I want the world to know. Got to let it show.
Let's see them. Come on.
I got to show the world all that I want to be and all my abilities. Oh, I get to be. Somehow I got to make them just understand I got it all in hand. And whoa, how I plan.
Come on, y'all.
It's time for me to break out of the shell. I have to shout that I am coming out. I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Got to let it show. I'm coming.
Are you coming out tonight?
I'm coming out.
I'm coming out.
I want the world to know. I've got to let it show.
I'm coming out.
I'm coming out. Woo! I want the world to know. Got to let it show.
I'm coming out.
I'm coming out.
Yeah.
I want the world to know. Got to let it
Bring it out,
show.
bring it out, bring it out.
Indeed, right now you are feeling the love. Indeed, right now you are being awashed in unconditional appreciation for who you are just as you are. Indeed, right now you have had the experience of celebrating our sheroes and the energy of the divine feminine. And where else could you come and experience all of this and have it be authentically expressed by so many magnificent voices except your beloved Unity of Sacramento International Spiritual Center? It's a place that's unique on the planet. And because of that, we want to keep it that way. We want to make certain that you always have and can return to a spiritual home that sees you and affirms you for who you are and lifts you up to your highest expression. That's what you're investing in when you are sowing seeds into this ministry, into this fertile soil, into this place that cultivates the very best of life and love, the very best of everything, and certainly the very best of you. And so I want to invite you to become generous now. Just feel that happening in your heart. Let the love that you have from this place translate into the way that you contribute to this ministry here and now. You're invited to be a spiritual philanthropist so that not only are you giving to Unity of Sacramento, you're giving through Unity of Sacramento. You're empowering us to touch the world in all of the ways that we are impacting the planet. We're unapologetically a force for good in the world. And so many of you are helping us to do that through your tithe, your offerings, and your generous supporting gifts. And now more than ever before, we're counting on you to do your part. We are asking for 10 more of you to join our auto tithing program. That means that you're a recurring giver. You're setting a percentage aside each week for this ministry. For 52 weeks that you put on auto pilot in our Unity of Sacramento app, you set it, you forget it, and you're always giving even when you can't be tuning in or being with us physically. And here are all the ways that you can give to Unity of Sacramento. Watch this.
You can always go to www.unityofsacramento.com. Right there on the front page, on the top, you will see a donation button. Click that button. It will take you to our safe and secure push pay portal. You can also give from our app. Our app is also safe and secure. This is the way that I love to give. It's so easy.
Me too.
Just download the app onto your smartphone or your tablet, and then from there, look on the front page on the bottom for the giving heart. Press the heart. It will also take you to our push pay portal. And then finally, you can do what you saw so many people do. They love to write us. You can write us as well. Write us at Unity of Sacramento, 9249 Folsom Boulevard, Sacramento, California, 95826.
More now than ever before, people are shopping online. It's another way to support your spiritual community. You can simply go to Amazon Smile and look for Unity of Sacramento. Select us as your preferred non-for-profit. And when you're shopping, you will automatically be making a contribution to Unity of Sacramento. So consider using Amazon Smile when you are shopping and select Unity of Sacramento. And that's another way you can support this beloved community. And so we're thanking you so very much for stepping forward and saying yes and finding your part and doing it today. Whether you're giving through our app, whether you're mailing your gift in, whether you are giving through Venmo or Cash App, all of the ways you're participating in the embedded links Facebook Live, however you're choosing to give right now, let's take a moment and bless those gifts. Raise it up to the vibration of universal generosity. And let's just give thanks for it. Let's affirm together. God is the instant, constant, ever-flowing, overflowing, never ceasing, ever increasing source of my unfailing supply. I give generously and joyously, and I receive freely and gratefully, and so it is. Amen and amen. Well, we're so glad that you joined us today on such a very special day as we remember our sheroes, those that light the way for the sacred feminine energy in our planet that's so needed today. As you leave today, think of a loved one who embodies that divine feminine and send them a thought of love or them a phone call, but lift them up today. And if it's you, give yourself a pat on the back and keep on keeping on. Until next week, we invite you to go forth and design a life of purpose, passion, peace, and prosperity, and be a force for good in the world. We'll see you next week.
I am here today with a special message just for you. We are all